Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are building a house in Pont-Aven, which is the custom hood that I'm working on in The Sims 2. I had no plans for this going forward. I actually looked at house plan websites. I think it was like houseplans.com or whatever it is, I don't know. It's one that I used quite a bit when building in The Sims 3 during its initial game run. I had a couple of plans up that I was like browsing through. I didn't really know what style I wanted to go for. I was picturing like a moderately sized house. However, I got my proportions all wrong when I put this lot down. I really should have made a larger lot and then built a larger house on it. Or I could have done the opposite and just built a smaller house on this same size lot. This is a 20 by 30, I think. No, it's a 20 by 20. I did end up changing it with Lot Adjuster, which is a third-party tool by Mutilda, who has been in the Sims 2 community for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, she is no longer with us. She made a bunch of amazing programs and things that work with The Sims 2, such as Lot Adjuster. If you guys want to learn more about it, it is linked in my Sims 2 downloads database spreadsheet that I made, but I'll also put like the direct link to it from Mod The Sims. It's a fairly simple tool in my opinion, but you do have to read the instructions carefully when using it. I don't show any of that in this. I actually went in and adjusted the lot after I had made the build initially. I think that I could have done it before I started building, but I wasn't thinking of using it at the time and kind of forgot that it existed when I was actually building this. This is in a part of the neighborhood that is kind of like almost a cul-de-sac with space in the middle of it. My plan was to have a couple of houses side by side on each end or sort of part of the cul-de-sac because it's not circles. You can't have like a circular road in this game. You can only do squares. So I guess on each side of the square cul-de-sac have a couple of houses, like one or two, and then do a park in the middle of it with a pond and whatever. I placed the community lot down for the park across from this house. I did that after I finished building this. I have not started building on that yet. That is for the future. That is for a time that I'm not going to worry about right now because this hood is fairly large. It's a medium-sized map and I have the ambition to fill it up with not only houses and community lots, but also trees and other hood decorations. And luckily for me, I've so far not experienced any pink flashing nor any crashing. The only time that my game froze was the other night when I was playing. I had saved, but it wasn't like a game issue. It was because, so my monitors, I have a dual setup, but at that point I wasn't using my second monitor, like it wasn't on. I was just playing the game and then I turned on my second monitor and I went into like the thing on Windows where you change how you want your monitors oriented. It's Windows P for like the project manager or whatever, and you can choose like if you want to duplicate or extend or whatever. And every time I hit extend, I have it automatically set so it will adjust my monitor that I'm gaming on to 1280 by 720 because when it's 1080, I can't really see the UI for the game. And I know that it probably looks a lot clearer and crisper, but like I need to be able to see what I'm doing. I don't really care if it looks blurry personally. So I had done that and it takes a second and it's fine. I have a pretty decent gaming PC, but what my issue was, I had clicked a couple of times on the game window and I had the dreaded like spinning hourglass and then it said that the application wasn't responding. Like it was a Windows dialog box telling me that The Sims 2 wasn't responding. I reloaded it. It was fine. I had just saved, like literally just hit saved. It saved and then I did that. So luckily I didn't lose any progress. This was when I was playing with a family. I can't remember who. I've been doing a little bit of a rotational thing. I played the Pleasants, I played the Brokes, and I've been playing the Goths. And I want to talk about this a little more in my next Sims video where we redo the Goth household, like the interior of the Goth house. I don't really want to like spoil you guys in this one, but there's not really anything to spoil. It's just like there's been some chaotic antics going on. I do think I placed down like a range hood in this build. I have to remember to go back and delete that and remove that item from my game. I swear to God, in the description in buy mode, it said it was a fire alarm, but it's not in the alarms category in the game. So that's on me for not fully realizing that it was not a fire alarm. I'm gonna touch on this more in my video where I redo the Goth house, but I had that in their kitchen and a fire broke out and it didn't do crap. So one of them had to actually like physically call the fire department. And then I placed down an actual fire alarm afterwards and the game glitched. It would not stop going off. As soon as I placed the alarm down and went back into live mode, I had deleted the hood, put the fire alarm down, and then went back into live mode. Immediately upon unpausing the game, the fire alarm was wailing, but there was no fire. Like, the debris had been cleaned up. I got them a new oven because like it was so bad to the point where like the oven was destroyed, like it obliterated. So I decided in my infinite wisdom to quit without saving because I didn't have the energy, and I kept getting like an infinite loop of the firefighter telling me that they had to go. So I don't know what exactly went on there, but those are the only problems I've been having with my game so far. Like I've said in the past, I do not play with the Legacy Edition. This is the Ultimate Collection. I run it through the RPC launcher by Lazy Duchess, and I use the community patches for it. So far so good, knock on wood. I've not had any issues. I also have quite a few mods and quite a bit of CC. Again, so far it hasn't really been an issue in terms of loading. The only problem I've been experiencing is just with the UI for CAS. I talked about this previously because I use Starship UI, as you'll see as we're going through here. The way that it is, because I play in 720, I have the 720p UI for CAS, but sometimes it won't exactly align itself properly upon loading CAS. Like initially, I will have to launch the game in 1080p and then load CAS and then switch the resolution to 720. But then the problem is if I like make a family, for example, and then go back into create a sim to make another family or whatever, the UI in CAS will revert to what its initial state is, like with not as many columns and kind of like blocking off the sim. It's still the black Starship UI, but like in terms of actually being functional, it's not fantastic. This might just be an issue with the UI overlay that I'm using. I don't exactly know. It's not the end of the world. It's just a little bit of a minor inconvenience, but so far everything has been working out really well and I'm thrilled. I have been living my best nostalgia life playing this game. I haven't done any gameplay recording videos. I kind of wish I did because there's been some like funny moments that have happened. What I should do is just have OBS running when I'm playing and then like cut out some fun stuff like for compilations or whatever. It really wouldn't take up many resources on my PC to do that. It just like isn't something that I do because I kind of get like into my zone when I'm playing this game, and then like several hours go by and I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm still playing The Sims and it's 4 hours later. Are you guys like that? Because I've been like that ever since I've like re-downloaded this game and had it back in my life. There are a few pieces of custom content in my catalog that I do want to go through and like cleanse. The best way to do that is to actually remove it from your downloads folder and not delete it from the actual game UI itself, because I think that could leave a couple of like dead remnants or something in your game files. It won't be that big of an issue, I'm sure. I've just heard that like the best way to completely remove custom content is to delete it from your downloads folder in your Documents The Sims 2 downloads. It's really nothing consequential that I want to get rid of, mainly the range hood, because like that's not the fire alarm I thought it was. And if you know of one that does function like a fire alarm, please point me in that direction, because I am sick of using the little fire alarm that we have. That's fine for like if it's in the living room or whatever where there's a fireplace, if the fire like kind of, you know, engulfs everything. But if it's in the kitchen, I want like more of a modern look. I know that I could just use the ceiling item range hood that came with kitchen and bath stuff, which I had placed in a house when I was renovating it last night, and I had the fire alarm on the wall already, and because the range hood in that regard is a ceiling item and not a wall item, it didn't like intersect with it. So I might just do that, although I think I need to try and find some recolors for it, although not really, because I've been using mainly the kitchen and bath appliances in pretty much like every house that I've built, which has been really great. I haven't built a lot of houses. I've done mainly like renovations and stuff on my rotational playthroughs that I've been doing, but every time I do a kitchen over, I always gravitate towards the kitchen and bath appliances. I feel like that their color options are really good and there's really nothing quite like them. Plus they offer a lot of hunger and I think like a decent environment score as well. I don't know. I never really look at the stats. I just kind of like pick what's on the higher price range because I know that it's going to be better stats. I also just realized I played the Dreamer family. I didn't even talk about them earlier. I feel really bad. I didn't do the Lotharios or the Calientes, although Don is just himself and I hate him because he left Cassandra at the altar, although I think that she deserved better. In my game, she married Darren and Dirk and Darren moved into the Goth house. They are now the Goth Dreamers. Well, Darren is, Dirk is not. They had a baby, but that is for another video. That is for when I am redoing the goth house, because there is some lore that has to do with me having to restart my game because of the fire alarm glitch. Then Dirk aged up into an adult. He moved out. I had him move into one of the little houses that is in the part of Pleasant View where I had the Brokes living originally, like where they were in their initial house. However, he wasn't there that long. He ended up asking Lilith Pleasant to move in because, you know, she had also aged up into an adult in my last playthrough of the Pleasant family, and they got engaged, and now they live in a beautiful big house in Blue Water Village, that big one with the pond in the backyard, and they have a daughter. Meanwhile, Alexander Goth went to college and he graduated cum laude. He has a degree in physics or something because his lifetime want is to be chief of staff in the medicine career. So we're working on that, and because of that, he got into, I think, like, he was a resident at his starting rate for the medicine career. I don't know what level that is, but he did that, and then he was romancing a couple of the dormies because I had him live in a dorm. He moved when he was done with college back to Pleasant View, and he lives in the little house that's like the little 2-story. It's kind of in the area where the goth house is, I think. He asked one of the dormies to come over, and then as soon as he proposed to her, she, you know, grew up automatically into an adult, and here we are. They're still engaged. They haven't gotten married yet. I want them to maybe have like one kid. I think that, like, with Dirk and Lilith, I want them to have an additional child, and I changed Cassandra's lifetime want. Initially, she wanted to have like 6 grandkids, but now not so much. I think it's like graduate 3 children from college. We have our work cut out for us. I can't remember what Darren's lifetime want is. I think I changed that as well. I don't think he works in the entertainment industry anymore. And Alexander's fiance, she initially, and I didn't know this, had a romance aspiration, and I didn't want to play that. So I used SimBlender to change her to Fortune, and now she wants to like make a ton of money. However, currently she doesn't work. Initially, she had rolled a want to join the slacker career, and then I think she wanted to join the entertainment career or something. I might have her join the slacker career. The only way she's been making money has been selling paintings, which is fine, but I feel like if we keep going that route, we're going to take a very long time to achieve her lifetime want. Although I guess like that's the point, right? You're supposed to start working on it from the time that they are a teen or an adult or something. I think you can kind of work on it maybe a little bit in college. It depends on what it is. This house ends up turning out a little bit different than initially planned. I did go back and add to it a bit after I extended the lot with lot adjuster. I made a pool in the backyard as well as a covered patio area, kind of, but like I used the greenhouse walls and roof, so it's outside but it's not. I put these like string light objects, you know, obviously I used Move Objects on to place them, and I'm imagining that like the people who live here can go out and they can have like an outdoor patio set and enjoy their meals and stuff, almost like a conservatory, but like not. Anyway, we're done here. The build is finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.